Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Thursday, the 11th of March. And starting off with 7 Digital, where we've finally got our signal, a good strong signal with a gap higher off the support and also off the 200-day moving average at 1.23 pence, broken the 50-day line at 1.47 and that line of resistance from August. The red one around the same level, so above the 50-day line, looking for obviously at least at the 2 pence plus area, which was the January resistance, but the big picture target here over the next 2 to 3 months up to 4.5 pence, retesting August resistance. The confidence for this call backed by the gap higher, which shows that maybe traders were caught off guard. We also had a gap higher, as you can see, in August to start off that rally as well. So gaps can be significant in these situations. This stage, early and end of day close back below the 200-day line, really delaying the upside scenario and 4.5 pence plus. I've been ordered to do the next stock, Clontarf, which I probably would have done anyway, but here we've got another stock which is gapped off support, which is a good sign and shows momentum has begun, and above the 50 and 200-day moving averages at 0.41 pence on an end-of-day close today. We should be looking towards the top of the broadening triangle I've drawn from back in May last year, as high as a penny. That could be seen as soon as the end of May, this May. So let's see how that goes. The only thing which would really cancel or delay the upside would be back below the recent March support, but it looks as though there's been enough testing there around 0.35 to get this thing going. The green stocks, which I'm not really into, but the green stocks are back at the moment. First one, well, the one that I'm looking at today is EQTEC. Need an end-of-day close above that resistance line there from January, 1.8 pence, and the 20-day line. We can do that someday this week. That would be a big positive for the shares and suggest that we could go back to the highs at 3 to 3.5 pence by the end of next month. Be cautious on the stock, maybe wait for a break of either the initial March resistance at 2.05 or the 50-day line currently at 2.16. At this stage, only really back below 1.5 pence, which was support on the way down, really delaying the upside scenario. Good to see Fragrant back in the picture and back in the frame. The big plus point here, which was identified before, was the way that we've had, I suppose we've had gaps to the upside there in January. Unfilled gap from last month, which is the big plus here. And even with the placing, we stayed above that gap, which is great. We stayed above the 20-day moving average as well at 5.5 pence, and that support line there from January at 5 pence. So the longer we stay above the gap floor, the better this looks. If you're looking for a momentum trigger, that you would be waiting for an end-of-day close through today's high at 6.5 pence, which is that February resistance line, and then targeting as high as 13 pence as soon as the end of next month. RSI looking very good as well. That's been about at 50 or above the neutral level in bullish mode since, well, actually even since before that low was put in last month. So looking pretty strong there, and all the near-term moving averages also rising, so this should be on its way to the upside. Stock that's already been on its way to the upside for quite a while after a very slow start, i3 Energy. I think it was one of the stocks of the year, and seems to have taken note of that, started moving just before the beginning of January, and now we seem to be accelerating. Nice bull flag breakout that we had to start the week, that peak from February at 8.2 pence, and above that we're looking for at least 12 pence for i3 Energy at the top of that rising trend channel from March last year. So very solid looking situation there, clearly trying to anticipate forthcoming news. Moving on to a stock which I think I promised someone that it would hit 20p or 25p or something like that by the end of this month. A bit of a delay for Jubilee Metals, but actually a very good consolidation here right near the highs. Sideways flag as well, brilliant price action, staying above the 20-day line, well above the 20-day line, which you only see in the most bullish of situations. So everything going for the shares at the moment, and the longer we stay above the 50-day moving average, just shy of 14 pence, the greater the chance of a move not only to 20 or 25 pence, but also as high as 30 pence. And that could be seen as soon as the end of the next month, although I might have to delay that into May at some point as well, but still looking very good despite the slight delay there at Jubilee. On to Kodal, which is always a bit of a challenge, a charting challenge. Here we've got a situation where the shares have broken through this symmetrical triangle that we had from last September. It's taken a long time to consolidate and get its act together, but the plus point here, which we've had since September, really is the way that the shares have spent all that time above the 200-day moving average, so just basically since the end of August, breaking that line of resistance there from September at 0.1, well, it's right above 0.1 pence, should take the shares on and give us a target as high as the top of the September price channel, currently pointing to 0.23 or 0.24 pence by the end of next month. Only back below the 50-day line and back below 0.1, really delaying the upside scenario. But hopefully on this situation, after the, I suppose, 3 full storms that we've had, the shares are finally on their way. Another slow situation, which looks like it's just about to take off now, is mineral and financial. Here we've had a break of this triangle that's been in place, I suppose, since the end of December. The top of the triangle there around 11 pence, so a weekly close above that, and we could be on our way to a 20 pence target by the end of next month, which is the top of a rising trend channel from back in that's 2018. So quite a big time frame there, but hopefully by the end of next month, or maybe going to May, up to 20 pence for mineral and financial while it holds above the 11 pence level. Stock which might move rather more quickly, because that's just what it does normally, is Premier African. Looks like we're consolidating well at and above the 20 pence level, which was a previous target. Also, that was resistance in October 2019. So old resistance becoming new support, and the longer we hold above that, the greater the chance of a touch of the next resistance line there from March 2019, as high as 0.4 pence. Time frame on that by the end of next month, or perhaps sooner. Got a request for Pensana, which has been a great IPO, post-IPO rally that we've had. Maybe somebody floated it a bit too cheap, perhaps. But here we've got probably the best type of configuration you can have, a broadening triangle, so the target just keeps rising almost by the day. The view here is that while we're above, and the longer we stay above £1.50, which has been the support to start this week, above 150 on an end-of-day close, looking forward to a target as high as £2.20 by the end of next month, and the way things are going, perhaps even by the end of this month. If you're really sort of squeamish about the price action, maybe you'd have a tighter stop loss, so you'd say that the initial March resistance at £1.60 was your end of day close stop loss, but it looks like you've probably got to give it down to 150 in order to reach £2.20 over the near term. Couldn't resist looking at Ridgecrest again, although I've looked at it several times before, just for hat tip to all the people in Norwich who seem to be supporting this particular situation. We've got a rising trend channel there from last month. Floor of the channel currently at 2.37, while above that we're looking towards the top of the channel at 5 pence, and that would hopefully be seen by the end of next month. Stock which I haven't looked at for a while, but looks very solid, let's say, at the moment, and has been, with higher highs and lows all the way up from December. Clearly getting into that natural resources vibe, which is doing rather well at the moment. Here we've had a bounce, so we've had a bear trap to start this month from below the 50-day line at 4.75 pence, but we've broken that line of resistance from January at 5 pence, and an end of day or a weekly close above 5 pence should be more than enough to take the shares on to a target as high as 9 pence as soon as the end of next month. Stop loss and end of day close back below the 50-day moving average at 4.75 should do the trick. Another stock which is a recent IPO and also has a broadening triangle formation, so we're full of hope on this one. Tirupati Graphite, plenty of news flow as well. Here we've broken the initial March resistance at call it 98 pence, and above that looking for an upgraded target here now, which is that line of resistance from December, currently pointing as high as £1.50. Maybe see that going into May, by the end of May, for this particular situation. But very good break to new higher ground here, which does inspire confidence. Stock which is slightly more obscure, but has done very well for its fans, Zephyr Energy. Here it looks as though we're ready for a new leg to the upside. We had the first breakout there through the 1 penny area, which was great, and went to 3 pence. We had a gap there to the upside, which was filled, but then we bounced off that gap, which is normally a very good sign. And breaking that January resistance line at 2.4 pence today, above the support line there from August last year at 2.2 pence. We're looking for a target here as high as 5 pence over the next 1 to 2 months, so maybe going into April or mid-May for Zephyr Energy up to that 5 pence target. At this stage, only back below the 50-day moving average at 1.96 currently. Really delays the upside scenario, but it seems very unlikely that the shares will have to go back and test that any time soon. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.